Hello everyone and welcome to my channel Make It Yourself. So today we are going to learn how to make these really pretty and unique mug cozies. This is how you put the mug cozy around a mug, and as you can see it's a pretty simple process. This size that I made will fit most of the standard size mugs, but I'll show you how to customize it according to the mugs that you want to make it for as well. And here you can see in the background there are like two beautiful coasters which match the mug cozies. If you would like to know how to make these coasters, the tutorial is already available in my channel, so you can go through my videos, or you can also refer to the description of this video where the link is readily available. Let's jump right into the video. If you would like to know the hook size, yarn use and other things needed for today's project, please refer to the description as well, so you can get those details from there. So we're going to start off with the white yarn and we're going to make a slip knot first. So here I'm making a slip knot first, and then so here I'm using a gray kind of yarn. You can use gray, white or any light colored yarn. So we're going to make a chain of 13 now. Chain 1, chain 2, chain 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 and chain 13. So now here chain of 13 is the perfect length for my mug, but you can customize this based on the handle size of your mug, and you can measure it in this way. So hold it against the handle, and this chain should be such that it is just 1 or 2 stitches more than the size of the length of the handle. So once you're done here, starting from the second chain from the hook, you're going to start making single crochets. So you'll be making one single crochet in each stitch. So by the end of this end of this row, you should have a total of 12 single crochets. So row number 1 is pretty simple. Just continue making one single crochet in each of the chain or on each of the stitch. And we started off with a chain of 13, but since we start by skipping the first chain, so by the end of this row you should have a total of 12 single. So once you are done, you can count the stitches just to make sure you have the correct number. So here we're going to count it: 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 and 12. So we have 12 single crochets. Now we're going to chain one and turn our work. So from row number 2 onwards, what we're going to do is we're going to work only in the back loop. So here the stitches will have 2 loops, as you can see. Insert your hook under the back loop and then make a single crochet. So you'll be doing the same for the rest of the stitches. Insert your hook into the back loop and make a single crochet. So you'll be making one single crochet in each stitch, but make sure you're using only the back loop. And once you are at the end of the row, make sure to count the stitches, and you should still have a total of 12 single crochets. So here we are just making single crochets in the back loop of each stitch. So continue in a similar manner. Another thing I wanted to point out is that if the length of your handle is different, you can make that many chains at the beginning, and it does not matter whether you end up with odd number or even number of stitches. That is not going to affect the pattern out here. So you can make as many chains necessary for and customize it according to your size of your mug or your cup. So here I am done 12 single crochets. I'm going to chain one and turn my work again. So in the third row also we'll be repeating the same pattern of making one single crochet in each stitch, but here too we are going to use only the back loop. So insert your hook into the back loop and make your stitch, and by the end of this row also you should have 12 single crochets. So we're going to make only 12 single crochets till the end of this cozy pattern. So make sure you have 12 single crochets. Sometimes what happens is while we are making the stitches we end up missing one or two stitches, and then the pattern does not look even. So just make sure that while you're making the single crochets, either you don't miss all the stitches or you do a count at the end of each row just to make sure you have 12 single crochets. So basically for the remaining rows the pattern is going to be pretty much same. You're just going to make 12 single crochets and at the end do a chain one and turn your work, and every time you're going to just work on the back loop of the stitches. So here we have already made three rows, so the fourth row also, as you can see, we are just repeating the same pattern. So for the based on the measurement of my coffee mug, I needed around 45 to 50 rows. I did not make a note of the count, and that's because you can customize these rows based on how many rows you actually need for your mug. So as you can see here, I'm just going to increase the length until I'm able to wrap this this cozy around the mug in this manner. So just measure until it reaches both the ends of the handle. You can continue crocheting and making the rows. So after you're done, you're going to make a chain of 16. So this chain of 16 also you can customize it based on your the size of your handle. So this is a chain that is going to go around the handle of the coffee mug. So here, as you can see, after I make a chain of 16, just to ensure this is the correct length for me, I'm going to measure it around the handle of my coffee mug. So once you're done with making few chains, just pull it around the handle and then check if you are able to meet the other end exactly. Make sure you do not make too many extra chains and make this part of the pattern loose, because then this cozy will not you'll not be able to wrap it around in a snug manner. It is okay to make it tighter, or you can have lesser chains rather than having more chains in this part of the pattern. So once you have measured it, you will go to the other end and just find the stitch and make a slip stitch here. So similarly we'll do at the other end also. So here first make a slip stitch, and while we're going to reach the other end, we are going to make half double crochets on this side of the mug cozy. So between these at the end of each row there will be one stitch, so you're just going to make one stitch for on top of each row. So you'll have this space at the end. So there is no right or wrong place or into which you are inserting your hook. Just make sure you are making half double crochets on each of the ends of the rows here. So you can see, like between two ridges you will have two stitches. So just make two stitches between the two ridges you see here. So I have not counted how many stitches I got by the end of this side, but you can just roughly make half double crochets over this side of the cozy. So you can see there's like this one stitch, and then a second stitch before you get the next ridge or the next rib. So as you can see, this is a ribbed pattern. So between two ribs you will be having two half double crochets, so you can consider it that way and continue making the pattern. So let's see it again. So here this is one stitch, and this is the second stitch, and then you will get the next ribbed structure. So just continue this pattern till you reach the end of this side, and just make sure not to leave too much of gaps between two stitches. So how I work this, between two ribbed rows I have two half double crochets between them. So once you're here, I'm almost at the end of this side. So we have two more stitches left here, so we're just going to make two more half double crochets before we start making the chain on this end. So finish making the half double crochets till the last stitch of this side, and then again similarly, like I had chained 16 on the other side, so I'll be chaining 16 again for this side also. And you could make the number of chains that fits your mug handle, and if not, you can just follow this pattern and make 16 itself. This should fit a standard mug size. So once you are done with this chain of 16, you will slip stitch it to the other end. So here go to the last stitch and make a slip stitch at that end. So here too, on the other side, after making the slip stitch, we will continue making the half double crochets like we did on our first side. But the only difference is, after making half double crochets till 1/4 of the, sorry, 3/4 of this side, we are going to stop and introduce the green yarn to make the sepals for the flower. So I'll show you how to do that. And for now, just continue making these half double crochets almost till 3/4 of this side. You can also place this pattern around the mug, and then decide on which part of this mug cozy you want the flowers placed, and based on that also you can consider how many half double crochets you are going to make. So here too the pattern is similar, just continue making half double crochets. So here I'm going to show you how to measure and decide on where to place the flowers. So what you're going to do is just make half double crochets till you reach the mid section of this pattern, and then do the measurement. So here I am done till almost the mid of this section. I've made half double crochets till mid of this section, and now I'm going to use the reference coffee mug and going to wrap this pattern or this cozy around it, and then I'll show you where to place the flowers. So wrap the mug cozy around the mug, and then from the handle start counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So on the 17th stitch you can place a stitch marker. So this is also customizable based on where you feel that the flowers would look good. You can place the stitch markers there. So here I have placed the stitch marker on the 17th stitch from the handle. So here the first flower will be there, and between two flowers I am leaving a gap of 2 ribs, and on the third rib I am making the second flower. So this is just approximate. There is no hard and fast rule of placing these markers. These are wholly based on where you want the flowers to be placed. So once you place the marker, it is easier to visualize and know where the flowers will appear or will be seen once your mug cozy is ready. So that is the reason we place the stitch markers first. And now we are going to continue making the half double crochet till you reach the first marker. So make the half double crochets in a similar manner. You will have two half double crochets between two ribs, and continue making these half double crochet till you reach the marked stitch. So we're going to change the color to the green yarn to make the base of the flower. So for that, what you're going to do is the half double crochet that you make right before the stitch marker, you're not going to complete the half double crochet. You still have 3 loops in it, and then you're going to make a slip knot using the green yarn, and you're going to pull this slip knot through this 3 loops of the half double crochet. So this way it gives a clean finished look. That is the reason why we didn't complete the half double crochet, and we pulled this loop through it before making the base of the flower. Now you can remove the stitch marker, and into that stitch we are going to make 3 double crochets together. Now while doing this, the tail yarn, the green tail yarn and the white yarn, you can make the stitches over it itself so that you are hiding those yarn under it. So to make 4 DC together, you're making the first double crochet, pull through only first 2 loops, the second double crochet, pull through only 2 loops, similarly the third double crochet, pull through only 2 loops, and make the fourth double crochet. Here to just pull through the first 2 loops alone, such that now you have 5 loops in your hook, and then pull through all of them. Now you're going to make a chain of 2, and then you're going to make this 4 double crochet together again into the next stitch. So yarn over, insert the hook into the next stitch, pull a loop under it, and pull through 2 loops alone into the for the first double crochet. Similarly, yarn over, pull this loop through the stitch and pull through 2 loops alone for the second double crochet. And all this while, remember, you are making these stitches over the white yarn so that the white yarn is carried over. And this is the third double crochet, pull through 2 loops, and the fourth double crochet, and you're going to pull through 2 loops alone, such that you have 5 loops in the hook. And now you're going to pull through all the 5 loops. So once you're done, you are going to chain 1, and then once you're done, we're going to change to the white yarn. So pull this loop of white yarn through this green yarn's loop, and now the green yarn is what you'll be carrying forward. So make the remaining like half double crochet till you reach the next stitch marker, and make sure you're making these stitches on top of the green yarn, because you're carrying forward the green yarn, because we're going to use the green yarn again in the next stitch marker for the next flower base. So just make the half double crochets till you reach the next stitch marker, all the while making the stitches on top of the green yarn. And here too, just before you reach the stitch marker, you're going to make this half double crochet such that you are not completing it. When you have 3 loops in the hook, you're going to change the yarn to green. So you have carried forward this green yarn, so using this green yarn, pull it through the 3 loops of the half double crochet. And now we are going to make 3 double crochet together in the next stitch, similar to what we did for the previous flowers base. So we're going to make 4 double crochet together. So continue making this 4 double crochet together until you have 5 loops in the hook, and once you have 5 loops, pull through all of them. Now make a chain of 2, and into the next stitch make 4 double crochets together again. So yarn over, insert your hook into the stitch, and insert your hook into the next stitch, pull through 2 loops alone, and similarly insert your hook through the stitch, pull a loop and pull through 2 loops alone. The second one, this is the third one, and this is the fourth one. So you should have 5 loops in the hook, and now pull through all of them. Now you're going to change yarn again into the white yarn, and this time you don't have to carry forward this green yarn. So what you can do is you do not have to make the remaining stitches on top of the green yarn. Just leave it behind, we can just trim it off later. So pull a loop using the white yarn and make the remaining half double crochets till you reach the end of this side. So just continue making the half double crochets till you reach the end of this side. So I have just fast forwarded this section because it's basically repeating the same pattern. You are just making half double crochets over this side till you reach the end of this side. So just at the base of the chain, you just make your last half double crochet and make a slip stitch to the last stitch so that it gives a nice finishing. Chain 1, pull the yarn tight, and then you can trim off. So now the white yarn and the green tail yarn that you have, you can use a tapestry needle and stitch those yarns into the existing stitches. So here we are going to add the flower now. So using a pink yarn, make a slip knot first, and this slip knot you are going to pull it through the stitch right above this 4 double crochet together that we did. So this is the stitch right above the four four double crochets that we had connected it together. Pull it through that stitch, and now we are going to chain 2. So this is the first petal of this flower. So into the same stitch, you are after the chain of 2, you are going to make 5 double crochets in the same stitch. So this is the first petal. This flower will have a total of 3 petals, and this is the first petal that we are making. And this first petal, each petal will have 5 double crochets in it. So just make 5 double crochets in the same stitch, and once you're done making 5 double crochets, you are going to chain 2 again and then slip stitch back into the same stitch. So chain 2 and slip stitch back into the same stitch. Now the next petal that you will be making is in the chain 2 space. So after connecting the 4 double crochets together, you made a chain of 2. So into this space, first you're going to make a slip stitch, then you're going to chain 2, and then you're going to make 5 double crochets again under this chain 2 stitch. So just continue making the 5 double crochets here, and the pattern for all the petals will be same again. You will be starting with a chain of 2, you'll be making 5 double crochets, and then you will end with a chain of 2 again, and then slip stitching into the same stitch. So that's the pattern of a single petal. So chain 2 and slip stitch back into the same chain 2 space, and similarly the third petal you will make it on top of the next 4 double crochets together. So in the previous row you made the 4 double crochets together. So insert your hook into the very next stitch, and you can make it here itself. And now chain 2, make 5 double crochets in the same stitch. This is the second double crochet, the third double crochet, the fourth double crochet, and the fifth double crochet. After that make a chain of 2 and slip stitch it back to the same stitch. And now you can, after you have made the slip stitch, you can chain 1 and then trim your yarn. So as you can see, we have these 3 petals ready on top of the green base. Now you're going to chain 1, pull the yarn tight, and then trim it off. And this tail yarn, you can stitch it into the existing stitches. Just make sure that you stitch in the tail yarn into the similar color. So the pink tail yarn, you should stitch in only into the pink section alone. So here, since I have left a shorter tail yarn, I'm going to use a smaller crochet hook and pull this tail yarn through few of the existing stitches of the petal. And once I feel that this tail yarn is secure, I'm going to trim it off. So here you can see that one of my flower is ready. Now in a similar manner, I'm going to make the second flower. I'm going to do exactly what I did for the first flower. I'll be making a slip knot and then pulling it through the top of the green stitches, and then I'll make first the first petal and on top of the first set of 4 double crochets together, and the second petal I will make in the chain 2 space. So I have fast forwarded the video because this part of the video is exactly similar to how I did the first flower. If you would like to still see this part in detail, you can go to YouTube settings and reduce the speed of the video, and you will be able to view this part in a normal speed. So the second flower here is done, and I'm going to stitch in the tail yarn of the second flower also in a similar manner. Here too I'm using a crochet hook and pulling it through few of the existing stitches and trimming it off. Now we are going to make the stem and the leaf. So for that, take the green yarn and make a slip knot. And this slip knot, you're going to insert it from the back of this pattern and pull it through the uh, base of this flower. So through the base of the 4 double crochets together that we did, pull this slip stitch and then slip stitch into the base of the next 4 double crochets together. So this is the first base of the 4 double crochets together, and insert a hook into the next green section here and pull it on the back side this way and make a slip stitch. So the second slip stitch that you will be making is in the upward direction, that is between the 2 green section. We have this space, we are going to make this slip stitch in this section. So make a slip stitch here, and now we're going to make the remaining slip stitch towards the bottom of this pattern. So for that, turn your pattern and you're going to make the slip stitches in the downward manner now. So all the slip stitches, you will be pulling the stitch from the bottom. The yarn is on the bottom or the back side of this pattern, and you will be inserting your hook and pulling the loop from the back side of this pattern. So as you can see here on the back side, we are pulling the loop and pulling it through the slip stitch here. So continue making few slip stitches, after which we are going to add the leaf. So here we are planning to add the leaf. So pull this loop of slip stitch and take out the crochet hook, and at the base you have this tail yarn. Just pull this tail yarn, and here you have to estimate how much of length you might need for the remaining pattern. This it's always safer to keep a longer tail yarn and trim it off. So here we want the tail yarn to be on the front side of the pattern, so we pulled it out fully. And now we're going to make a chain of 5 to make the leaf. So chain 2, 3, 4 and 5. And now we're going to make a slip stitch into the first stitch, that is first stitch, and into the second stitch we're going to make a single crochet. Into the third stitch we are going to make a half double crochet, and into the fourth stitch we are going to make a double crochet. And now into this base stitch on the back side of the stitch that we have this loop, we are just going to make a slip stitch. So once our leaf is done, we want the tail yarn to be back on the other side, or on the back side. So in through the same stitch where we had pulled it up, pulled it to the front side, we are now going to pull it to the back side again, because we are done creating the leaf. We need the yarn on the other side or the back side of the pattern. So once you have pulled the yarn to the back side, insert your hook back into this loop, and you will continue with the slip stitches like how we did at the beginning. So just make a few more slip stitches till you reach the end of the other side. So make the slip stitches, and you can go straight or you can go in a, a slight curvy manner. It's up to you. So just continue making the slip stitches till you reach the other end. So once you reach the other end, you can chain one and trim off the yarn. So here I'm going to chain one, pull the yarn tight and trim it off. And here one of the flower is done, and we will make the stem of the other flower in a similar manner. Here I'm trimming off the tail yarn, and on the back side I am stitching in whatever tail yarn I have left. So for this part of the stem, you can just pull the tail yarn through few of the existing stitches of the green yarn, and you can also dab a bit of glue to make sure that the tail yarn does not come off. Similarly, how we made the stem for the first flower, I am showing you how to make the stem for the second as well, and this is exactly the same manner, so I have fast forwarded the video. If you would like to see this video in normal pace, please do go to the settings and slow down the video. So here too, after making the slip stitches at the base of the flower, I am just making slip stitches towards the end of the other side. And once I am done halfway through slip stitching, I'm going to pull this tail yarn to the front side, because I need the tail yarn on the front side to make my leaf. So I'm going to trim it off after pulling the tail yarn quite a bit, and then I'm going to make the leaf. So for a leaf you're going to make a chain of 5, and into this chain you're going to make 4 stitches. That is, first a slip stitch, second a single crochet, third a half double crochet, and fourth a double crochet, and then you're going to slip stitch to the base. And once this is done, through the same stitch that you pull the tail yarn up, you to the this front side, you're going to pull it to the back side as well, and pull the tail yarn to the back side. And once you're done pulling it to the back side, you're going to continue making the slip stitches to make the stem. and continue this till you end the, or sorry, till you reach the end or of this side. So continue making the slip stitches till you reach the other end. I'm sorry if I have like jumbled up few places because it's late night and I just wanted to complete making this video. It has been pending like for 2 weeks. I had almost like I had finished the recording 2 weeks back, but because since I didn't have time, I was not able to finish the editing part. And today I thought I'll do it somehow, but it's late at night and I'm trying to finish it. So please do excuse me if I have pronounced few things wrongly, or if few of the areas were not clear. You can always reach out to me through the comment section, and I'll be happy to get back to you and clear any of your doubts. So here too we are stitching in the tail yarn, and once you're done, your pattern is complete. You can use a stiffening spray if you want the pattern to hold the shape better, but since I'm using cotton yarn, I think it is already in a good shape. And as you can see, I have made these two different mug cozies in two different flowers, different color of flowers. So you can make or customize this design the way you like. I really hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. If you did so, please do subscribe to my channel and turn on the bell icon for notification and give me a thumbs up, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good night. Thank you, guys.